Hi everyone. On my previous video, I don't know whether you have seen it on time management, whether what we can control and what we can't control. I mentioned that we have to divide our lives into two: the areas, the time frames that we can control, and the time frames that we can't control. Now, the question is, how does it look on my agenda? Can I do on my agenda to highlight those times? Now, there's a basic tool, very basic. Even if you're using Microsoft or whether you're using any other things, for example, a diary, Filofax, whatever it is, you just need two colors. Yeah. So one color is red, meaning those times are not under my control. So you would do red in terms of if you're commuting and it's a peak time. The only thing that you can do is maybe listen to audiobook in the field that you want to be in. Other than that, it's really difficult to do anything because it's overcrowded. So that would be red. If you can fit in anything, then you're multitasking, but it would be red in terms of that. So, for example, if you're 9 to 5, maybe there's only 12 to 1 lunch green. But maybe you can have, if you're an academic, you can have, maybe you have a class between 10 and 1, and afterwards you can do some admin. So, and there's 1 hour that you can dedicate, which can be green as well. Again, commuting back, then when you come at home, maybe it will take you 1 to 2 hours until you get things settled up, depending whether you have kids, whether you're helping them, how it works with your husband, if you have anyone in the family as well, your setting, whatever it is. There are so many different examples, so it needs to work for your life. So then you will know what is red and what is green. Now, once you have the green that are under your control, that area you can manage. So, for example, let's say I settled everything after 9, I can breathe, and that time I can maybe watch my series if I wanted to, or I could dedicate it to learning a new skill if I wanted to, or I could generate a new video that might help somebody down the line if I wanted to. So those are the green areas that you would assign the times where you have a breather and when you can have some time to dedicate for your goals. Now, you might, in the initial week, you might be really worried that you don't have that many green times. You might get upset about it as well because you might have so many complexities in life, and that green area gives you a flag, meaning just be careful because it's not even 1/5 of your time where you have a green area. Yeah. Now, how can we have more time than the question raises? Yeah. One way of doing that, we are revisiting the red areas. For example, work I can't change, but at home, maybe if I get a cleaner once every 15 days and they do deep cleaning, that might save me a time during the evening. Or if I get the cleaner to do some ironing as well, that might save me considerable time. Or washes the dishes as well. So it depends on, for example, if the kids are contributing to daily routines in a way. If they are grown up, they can handle a few things for themselves as well. So there are nuances that you can do on a daily basis that might help you to gain a bit more green time. So assessing the first week on seeing what are your green times, what are your red, and then looking back, what would my life look like it if I keep doing it a year? You might say, it's not my liking, but I don't have a choice currently. Then that's well, then you defined it. You decided that you will stick to it, and those are the areas what you know now. You know that you have limited green areas, and then those areas can be tackled with, yeah, because those are under your control, not under that you can't control. So once you have the green areas, the idea is within the years, as much as you can, to increase them. Because if you are always dictated, if your time is always dictated by others, you don't have much wiggle room. I'm not saying you do need to be a business owner. I'm not saying you do need to be XYZ, but you need to create options in life. With AI, many things are changing. Life is changing. We do change as well. So what makes you happy? Can you work on it? Can you bring some more happiness to your life? It doesn't need to bring financial means to it. If it brings, that's great. But if it doesn't, that's great as well, because that makes you happy and sane. So, one of my friends used to say, you shouldn't run like a headless chicken. And I never understood that. But then again, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you will do. So it doesn't need to mean that you will achieve it, but it's the journey that makes it better. So you have to have some sort of plan. So if I know I have 1/10 of green time and mostly red, so my idea is maybe drop it to 1/8 of green time if I can. Create some pockets of time if I can. So how can I do that? Maybe in the work I can arrange 1 hour in between to do something that is aligned with my growth in terms of academic achievement, in terms of whatever you want to do, in terms of job that will get you a bit more edge if it's possible. So, or if you're completely happy with that setting, how it looks, then that's okay as well. Yeah, I have a wonderful mother, and she is so happy dealing with us, dealing with still on this age. So she is very happy. So, and that's the bottom line. She doesn't have that many of green times for herself still, but she is very happy with that. So it's also not benchmarking you to somebody else, but benchmarking you for yourself and for your happiness in the long run. If your life makes you miserable now, you have to find a way to arrange your agenda, because your agenda indicates what you can do later on. So what I would suggest is 1 week roll out red and green. You don't have to color it, and just use red and green pen, and any time that you have for yourself, for self-development or for yourself, whatever you want to do in those times, put it in green. Anything that you have to do that you can't control of, put it in red. And then assign within 1 or 2 weeks, you will see the tendencies that you have and the percentage of what is in your control and what is not in your control, and you might be surprised, very surprised indeed. I hope this helps. Good luck.